Friday. It's back. It's time once again for more drawing stream. Good grief, I'm so tired. I don't know why this morning I'm just like, ugh, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna fall asleep drawing these monster guys. We'll do our best anyway though. But yeah, for today, I think we're gonna be back to doing some character shading on the ending, because that always needs to get done. There's a couple of different things I can work on in terms of the progress at various points in the ending, but I think, unlike today, I feel like doing some character shading. So that's what we're doing. Hello, thank you for coming. And hopefully I don't just conk out. I don't know why, I'm super tired. And probably it's because it's like rainy outside, and I'm like, oh, the weather, I want to go to bed. Even though it's the weekend. What did I walk into? More Eldritchrune ending stuff. QC not having a good time. I'm about to have a worse time. I'm about to have the worst time of all, in fact. A time that can't get much worse than that. She's the opposite of how I'm feeling, which is tired. Yeah. Make sure I do all that. Yep, so it's gonna be character shading day today. I've pretty much gone through and I've gotten done. Whoop. Ooh, big lunch. Those are nice. I like a big lunch. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy your big lunch. And when's the last time I had a big lunch? I guess for that high tea we had. That was pretty good. Hello. Sorry. I swear, every time I like start up a art stream, I'm always like. But thank you for coming. I hope your Sunday is going well so far. Better than QC's anyway. I feel like we're going to have to see more of some of her next chapter anyway. Something like that. Oh, it's fine. You're not late or anything. You are fine. And also coloring's a nice thing to get wrapped up in. I mean, I guess that's kind of what's happening here, only without much color. Because full coloring would take way too long. Don't have time for that. I do wish I was a little bit better with color, but oh well. Do what you can. Let's have a nice long thing nearing the end. I'll be done. Whereas I'm still slowly yet surely pecking away. Poking away at this ending. At least we're making progress. And also, yeah, the animatic's done, and that will come out on Halloween. And I hope people enjoy that. I actually went to the trouble of being like, you know what, I need to add captions to this. So I added captions. Only like 2 minute board, so you know. It's not like it's super time consuming to add captions, but it's good to do that, for that at least. Ooh. Ooh. I also really like to get on to back to the Tenna boss battle, but still might be a little bit of a wait time on that because I'm in the middle of the harder part of work stuff right now. I gotta do a whole bunch of roughs, especially for action scenes. But at least that's going okay so far. I anticipate I'll have more time to work on Eldritchrune stuff in November. October is always a busy month. I don't think I'm doing anything special for Halloween. We never get trick-or-treaters here anyway, because I'm in an apartment building and they don't want to come here, which, that's fair. Yeah. Also, did you think about doing the costumes that are from the newsletter? I remember that was suggested a while back. You could draw them in the costumes from the newsletter. Oh, that'd be cute. Jack Pumpkin. You're taking too long. Let's see. Did we get all the shading on birthday? I think we did, yeah. Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to replicate the eyes and mouth shape just because, like, it's a little bit funky. Yeah, I think if you go back to, like, last year's Halloween newsletter, whenever it came out, then that would do it. Get some black. Yeah, you can do like, you know, Susie's the Frankenstein's monster, and Rouse is the big, like, cake dress, and Chris is kind of wearing E-Ram's cloak, which is interesting. Those can be fun. Now it's time for a whole lot of black with Caddington. And eventually I'll get around to the Meeting Caddington comic, too. Yeah, you could do the nice pumpkin. You're taking too long. The one with all those little ones following you at once is surprisingly tense. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Now Mr. Very Nice Guy. Jack is so cute. Mamma mia. You need like a set of pumpkins. One's just like Jack's regular scary pumpkin. And then there's the nice pumpkin. And then there's the Mamma mia freaking out pumpkin. Leave, smiley face. Unless you leave. Whoa, what the heck was that pumpkin? That was scary. Just kidding. That was mine, Smiley. Yes, yes. I do like Jackenstein. That was such a cute character. I struggled with that boss battle, though. I struggled. I did not figure that one out very well at all. Especially the last third, I feel like, okay, now it's time to use the tension bit kind of thing. I mean, I've already drawn both Euro C and Eldritchrune Rado C, I think. Yeah, I already did that. Oh, no, I did not draw pre-Goofball. Or did I? I don't know. I can't remember. Well, if you want to have me draw something, then Just gotta use the thing. Or anything else. But again, remember, these aren't going to be accurate. They happen in like 30 to 60 seconds. Well, thank you. Cute things. Okay. Damn, I don't know why I'm so tired. Had one of those deals where I woke up at like 5:30 or whatever. I'm like, okay, I still got time to sleep. And then I was like in the middle of a dream when my alarm went off, and I was like, oh, dang it. Well, my brain's gonna be like, I wasn't done with that. Okay, I'll take a look. What's that from? Huh. Oh well, I will do this little guy. I think I already have the page open. Good on me, yay! Put him here. I don't know what this guy is from. Oh, a fun shape though. Okay, I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm out of the loop on many things. Like all that, oh, you need to watch the green gaster theory, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. And I was like, okay, I don't get it, and also this doesn't give any new information. Why are we excited about it? Is there a meme I missed? In which case, I don't care all that much. He's like, I got a stick. I'll fill in little black eyes here, and then we'll do the white eyes. Make it a little bit faster. Okay, here's a guy. We'll move him over a little bit so he fits in like a puzzle piece into the mess that is this page. There we go. Thank you for the request. And now back to your regularly scheduled stuff. Yeah, I'm like, what? It's like, and then Gaster is green, and I'm like, what does that mean? What am I supposed to gather from this? I'm sorry. I'm like, am I missing a joke? Is it a joke again? Because I don't get it. Even the thing about, like, oh yes, and because Papyrus is red and Sans is blue, and I'm like, when was that decided? We've color-coded your characters now, we didn't tell you. Why are you blue? You can't just ask someone why they're blue. Maybe I should watch Breaking Bad at some point, and then I'd get all the memes from that too. I have not seen Breaking Bad. The funny thing is I mostly know, like, oh, Vince Gilligan, he worked on the X-Files. That was my main source of knowledge on that. But I'm pretty sure I'm trying to think which episodes he wrote, if he wrote any. They're blue because it's cool. They're blue because dabba dee dabba die. Living in a blue world, and however the song goes. Alright, there's a little bit of black down there. Okay. Because it's cool. Except for when they're in Susie's Dark World, in which case they're kind of a periwinkle. Why are you periwinkle? Oh, that's Puce. I was living in a periwinkle world. Got that part, I think. Right, now I gotta do the eyes. And then here's a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. Whatever. I haven't watched Fresh Prince either. All these classics I haven't done. About a little guy that lives in a blue world. I'm gonna get rid of the black there a little bit of overlap. Now back to your regularly scheduled pink. Why are you pink and yellow? You can't just ask someone why they're pink and yellow. Anything else? No, the rest is eyeballs. Actually, no, I think I need to do bird these little glowy parts. Gamer glow. Probably what he would call it. Birdly, we don't know what that means. That's because you're not a true gamer. Neon pencils. Those would probably be fun to draw on like black paper. Gel and all that kind of stuff. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming by. Everybody's busy this Sunday. It's a busy, busy Sunday, but that's okay. Next weekend will probably be busy for me too, but I should still be able to do more art next weekend too. It's just nice slowly poking away at these pages, and I can fill out my chart slightly more. Uh-oh, did I miss part of something there? Let's fill that in. No? Apparently not, huh? Oh, that scene is sweet. It's like, oh no. Also, I think, thankfully, that puts to rest any thoughts that Chris hates Ralsei. No, they don't. They care about their friends, and that's why it's tragic. I swear. Bothering me. Why is it doing that? Okay. Well, there's just a problem down there. Just didn't fill it all the way in quite. Also... Oh, I'm sure there's still something going on between them because, like, I'm pretty sure that Ralsei does not have Asriel's face for no reason. Yeah, there's something going on there. Aww. Yeah, and there's still some stuff Ralsei is not saying to everybody else. I'm very, very curious. Like, Susie's like, I don't like when people don't tell me the whole deal. And I'm like, there are many people who have, none of you all have told us the whole deal. We are lacking the deal on all fronts. Okay, you can stop pointing out the differences, yeah. They're like, no, his hair tufts are different. His horn color is different. But Caddy certainly seems to think he's cute. He's like, oh, I just imagine he's really fluffy and cute. He's got horns. Caddy's into Ralsei. Every face not telling Susie the whole deal. None of you have told any of you all the whole deal. None of you are whole dealing here. It's unrealistic to assume everyone has nothing to hide. That's the problem. She's hiding stuff too. They all are. Every one of them. Sure, she actually does not like it, but she ain't being super truthful either. All of them are hiding things. And it's all gonna come back and bite them. Ah! Just talk to each other. Alright, are we done with the shading on this one? Let's see. Yeah, I hate that everyone is hiding something. Yeah. All of them are. None of you are free from hiding things. Yeah. Did I get all the shades for the characters? Did I not fill in that smoke? What's going on with that? I have to come back to that. Oh wait, no, I didn't fill that in because I think the text boxes are there. Yes, and the Roaring Nine is there. Wait, what? What happened? Let's see. No, it probably wouldn't be. They'd like to land on that and also poop on them. Ugh. I would not want to clean that up. Yeah, this isn't even a skyscraper. This is just a church building. I'm like, I'll land on this. That's fine. Surely there will be no problems. Oh yeah, in general. On the other hand, I think it would be worth it to have dragons. Please give us some dragons in real life. That'd be cool. And I guess we kind of already had those with dinosaurs. We just don't quite live at the same time they did. Now I gotta shade around all of Birdley's feathers. Joy, joy, fun. Well, at least in fantasy, they don't usually have a lot of skyscrapers in general. How does a culture have to build their building moving forwards? Well, think about how we build buildings when something bad happens to them. Like, we have our own buildings knocked down by various things, and we just keep building them. And you gotta live somewhere. You gotta work somewhere. Yeah, they can put like a magic barrier on them. Also, you might just have a situation where like big dragons and big birds just don't want to fly near cities anyway for their own reasons. You can world build your way around that. Time travel is fun but watch out. Till it becomes a problem for you. Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the world you're building and how it's structured. But there's definitely options for why don't big flying things run into the tall buildings? Just depending on what you're doing. Oh, I'm sure somebody's done that. You can make an economy out of anything if you try hard enough. Alright, as soon as we get some feathery stuff done for Birdley here, gotta stop and stretch. As you do. Birdley, your feathers are going to be a pain in the butt. Once again. You done borked the building, Birdley. He doesn't care. And I'll sit on whatever buildings I want. Average bird behavior, true. Talking with my friend who she has a bird and you know I have a lizard and we compare because these animals were related once and it's like yeah lizards scoped into I'm not going to move if I can avoid it. I'm just going to sit here and soak in the sun and not move if I don't gotta. Where birds are like, I'm gonna be moving all the time. You can't get me. I'm gonna move all the time. Ah, I'm gonna eat your keyboard and your tissue paper and blah. I mean, like through dinosaurs. I mean, they're like, you know, in similar niches in the evolutionary tree. I guess, isn't it like some reptiles are closer to birds than some reptiles are closer to like other reptiles? Like you can kind of like, you've got like turtles and crocodiles in one thing and like lizards and snakes in another, and one of those is like closer to birds than they are to each other. Yeah, that's what I mean. They were related. But they were on close branches in the evolutionary tree in the past, and now those branches are spread out. Yeah, that's not what I mean. Forgive me, I am very tired today. My words are blip. We'll finish off Birdly and then we'll take a stretch break. That is to say, I enjoy both birds and reptiles. I think they're both neat. This is mostly a funny observation between me having a pet reptile and my friend having a pet bird, and the reptile being like, I don't want to move, and the bird being like, I don't want to stop moving. Alright, have fun at the movie. What movie are you seeing? What's playing right now, for that matter? I think I might have forgotten. Right, maybe we'll do just a little bit more. Fill this out. Okay. Now it's time for a stretch. And all that stuff. I should go see a movie at some point. I haven't seen one in a while. I need to like get in the habit of seeing movies by myself. But I'm really bad about that. I'm like, well, if I haven't been doing stuff myself, I better get work done on projects, of which there are 10 million. Excuse me. Ugh. I was going to get more water. Alfie said move close to the entrance of her hive, but she did not. Alas, alack. Another funny thing about reptiles is how, or at least lizards, like to sleep with like their head propped up against a wall. I'm not sure why that is the case, but I've noticed multiple lizards are like, I want to be flat except for my head, which needs to be like vertical against the wall. I'm like, how is this comfortable for you, lizard? Maybe even not just their head, but like half their body. Half their body horizontal and half their body vertical. just shoved against a corner. It's silly. Man, I really do feel like hibernating right now. When is daylight savings time? I could really use an extra hour of sleep coming up. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and water and stuff. Alrighty, I return. And we shall get back to it. Whew. Yeah, I need to look up when's my extra hour coming back. I'll need it. And part of it's probably my own fault. Like I don't sleep in even on weekends because I feel bad when I do that. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get enough done. I slept until the whole 8:30. No. But I'm also not a night person, so it's not like, oh, I'll just make this up when I'm up at like 3 in the morning. So I'm like, no, I'm asleep at 3, ideally. I am tucked the heck in. I am honk shoeing, if all goes well. I feel like that's the opposite of how most artists work. But that's me. Gosh me. Bet you're wondering how I got into that situation. Can't say I know. It is It's quiet today, though. Why is that not filled in? Get over here. I hate like coming back and being like, oh, there's like a tiny little spot you didn't fill in. Why didn't you fill that in? Look closer next time, idiot. Okay. Now time for bird scream. What if you were trying to sleep, but Birdley said, wake up! It's time to game! Look, I liked how the movement came out in this, but the shadows are going to be kind of ridiculous. I guess we'll see. Perfect thing. Perfect for this. I wonder how he's gonna come into play more next chapters. Feels like he kind of got sidelined with the more recent ones. No. Oh, little kitty Milo. That makes me think of the movie Milo and Otis, which I used to watch a whole ton when I was little. I don't think I can watch it again now, though. Oh. I didn't know at the time. And both me and my brother were like, oh, Milo and Otis, it's fun. Also, man, them just like part of that movie being like, here's some live kitten and puppy birth on film for you kids. Oh, I love the Phantom Toll Booth. That's a good place to do it too. I read that book a lot. Good book. I like the Phantom Tollbooth. I was mostly thinking Cat, Milo and Otis, oh no! But no, I like the Phantom Tollbooth. That's a classic. Didn't they like try and make a movie out of that? Didn't quite work? I don't know. Seems like it should be the kind of thing you can make into a movie easily, but maybe not. The Phantom Tollbooth or Milo and Otis? I haven't seen the movie The Phantom Tollbooth, but I have read the book. Way back in the day. Yeah, I read that one a lot. It's a really fun kids book. Made you feel smart reading it. The film I can't watch anymore is Milo and Otis. Even though I watched that a lot when I was a kid. And that on video and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I think Milo and Otis, and that's a movie I didn't know existed. Well, it was Puppies and Kitties. Okay, here's the deal with Milo and Otis. This is a movie. It feels like it's in the same vein as Homeward Bound, where it's all about animals going on adventures. You know, and it's filmed with live animals, and then, you know, we have just basically they're voice acted over. And it's about a little orange cat named Milo and a pug named Otis, and they go on adventures down the river, and they get separated for a long period of time, and eventually they meet girlfriends like another pug and another cat, and they have puppies and kittens, and there's live birth for that on the movie for you kids. The reason why I can't watch that movie anymore is after watching Lindsay Ellis's video on it and realizing, oh no, they didn't film this movie safely, did they? They did not, like, have a animal rights person on hand, and there are scenes of, say, seagulls attacking a cat jumping off a cliff, a bear attacking a pug, like, serious danger of the animals. And as a kid I thought nothing, oh, it's the pug, watch out for the bear, but then realizing these animals were taken care of safely with the Humane Society, you're like, oh no, they just put a pug with that bear. Oh no, they just let a cat get attacked by seagulls. Like, oh no, there was animal abuse in this movie. Yeah, I think the problem is it's probably easier to do that just with animated animals. Also, hello, thank you for coming. Sorry, I got caught up about Milo and Otis. Like, at least for, like, Homeward Bound, it's like, okay, they were as safe as they could be with the animals. The Humane Society was, you know, working here to make sure the animals were safe. And then, you know, dubbed over. Like, Babe, you know, that's a movie that's pretty safe with animals, stuff like that. No, this was cats and dogs being attacked by other animals in very precarious situations. And there is no mention in the movie of, yeah, we worked with the Humane Society, we made sure the animals were safe. We're just like, oh yeah, we made sure there was a trainer on hand. Sure. Like, oh no, those guys absolutely threw a cat off a cliff and filmed it, kind of thing. But yeah, it's I think people don't do the real life animal adventures much anymore because it's just cheaper to have it be animated animals. Yeah, it was a Japanese film. It wasn't an American film. So it's a little bit vague, but we don't know what the standards are, and if you actually watch the movie, you can't possibly see how this would have been safe for the animals. Again, you have a bug hassling a pug, like a little dog, and they're making noises like they're in distress. It does not look like they're just having fun. It looks like this is a large black bear harassing a small dog. They might have seriously hurt some animals. Again, I don't know how they did the cat falling off a cliff thing. properly without just throwing a cat down into like this water below and being like, well, good luck, buddy. Like, because it looks like a cat if it was suddenly tossed off a high thing with the legs out and the tail lashing kind of thing. Yeah, we may not have passed every standard. It's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, this was probably okay for the most part, but also a... Again, I don't know how they would have done some of those shots without putting the animals in danger. And you can kind of tell that, like, okay, these are not always, it's not always the same cat and dog that they film for Milo and Otis. Like, they have multiple cats and dogs playing Milo and Otis. Whether that's because, like, filming just went a long time and they grew up as animals or something else. It's a little precarious. Like, even the scene in Homeward Bound where, like, you know, Sasha goes over the waterfall and it's like, meow, like, you can tell that's not a real cat. The scene of the cat falling off a cliff in Milo and Otis, like, oh no, that looks like a real cat. That was a movie I liked a lot as a kid because I did not think a whit about how the animals were being treated. I just liked the cute cat and dog trying to find each other in the wilderness of Japan, I guess. What am I working on? I'm working on Eldritchrune. We are back to doing some character shading here with Burbly. The animatic's about done. It should be posted on Halloween. So now we're back to Eldritchrune stuff. Burgley. What was his name? Borger? Bubsy? Do you have any other animatic plans? Not at the moment. I'm sure I will in the future. If I get an idea that I really want to do, and I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for an animatic. And again, I would like in the future, once Deltarune is done, to do an animatic series, but that is a bit of a ways off. It's kind of nice to poke in with like short little, 2-minute things for the time being. Honestly, my main barrier to doing a lot of animatics is like, please voice it, please give me music. Yes, the time being. Watch out for the time being, he's right behind you. No. Again, I want to do a series once full game is out. But that's, again, a ways away. However long it takes for the game to get finished. Which I'm not sure if it's, I'm kind of guessing, kind of guessing 2029? Assuming that the 11 hours or 11 years thing is accurate. What if the ending is mediocre? Well, that's what fanfiction's for. I don't think the ending is going to be mediocre. I'll say that much. Deltarune will come. Exactly. Going to be controversial? Yeah, I'm saying I don't think that, you know, I had a dream about a game ending and I absolutely positively have to make this. 15 years later, it's still on my brain. I don't think that's the kind of thing that ends up being mid. I don't think you stick with something for 15 years after, like, I don't think it was that big a deal. I'm sure there are some people who are going to think it's mid, and they're going to think it's mid because they've already built up this idea in their heads of how it's supposed to end. And when it doesn't go that way, they're going to be like, it doesn't go the way I wanted it to, therefore it's bad. But, like, yeah. I'm sure it will be a bold ending that sticks with you. Again, I think it's something that's going to just, like, all but reach out of the screen and grab you by the collar as the player. Yeah, I don't think we're getting a repeat of Undertale's ending. I don't think it's going to go like that. Because we already have Undertale. I mean, he already is dealing with an injury. That's why he has a team. Yeah, like that's not really worth it worrying about that. That's a very, you know, what if the world was made of pudding kind of question. It's like, yeah, that could happen, but you can't really go into life worrying that's going to happen. Yeah, I expect something kind of artsy. Again, I feel like something that very much feels like the game is reaching out and just grabbing you by the collar and saying, you are important here. Like, something even more meta than Undertale is kind of what I'm wondering about. He did say, like, hey, you know, this is not for everybody, but this might be for a few people where, you know, this matters to them kind of thing. You like a Mother 3 ending. Don't spoil it. I mean, I know how Mother 3 ends, but also don't spoil it. Art House Toby Fox. He should be allowed to be weird with his game. He should be allowed to be as weird the hell as he wants. We'll say, I don't think this is going to be a sad ending. I don't think this is going to be an everyone dies ending. You were a bad person for playing the game. I don't think that's what we're dealing with. I actually think this is going to be a very hopeful ending. But I also think it's going to be, not everybody's going to appreciate it. I just realized that my guy's kind of like going off the screen sometimes. Oops. I thought I put it properly. I just don't want something, again, that's nihilistic. I don't want something that's like, none of this matters. You're foolish for caring about it. I don't think that's what we're going for. Oh, I don't know Banette Fondue. What's that one? I mean, yeah, I wrote Paper Trail, so I would be okay with the Paper Trail type ending. It'd be pretty bad if I could dish it out but not take it, you know? Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a pretentious thing. I think what the game is trying to say by the end of this is that it is a good thing that you care about these characters. This is something important and worthwhile. Please care about these characters. Wait, isn't Getting Over It that game where, like, you try to climb the mountain and then you can't because it's ridiculously hard and you fall back down? It was bold, but some people really liked it, some people really did not like it. But I'm happy some people liked it. If I captured the feel of that all the way back in chapter 1, I'll consider that a victory. I consider that pretty good. But yeah, in terms of like what I think the message is, I don't think we're getting a nihilistic thing of like, and then let go of your, you know, stuff. I feel like what's being said here is, again, please care about these characters. Yes, they're not real to you, a person, but it still matters that you care about them. It is good. It is, you know, it is a positive thing that you are playing this game, even if, you know, this is not easy for anybody involved. Yeah. I have to put faith in the characters. Aw, I'm glad it got you into the fan base. I'm really happy to hear that. But if Toby legit did Paper Trail ending, I'd kind of freak out a little bit, because I'm like, how did I guess that all the way back in chapter 1? But also be like, watch out, Toby. They're gonna get mad at you. Oh, okay, you can say stuff after the ad. After the ad. I'm coming up on my stretch break time. Sort of joke of me listening to music I hate here, you know? This character. I'm blazing through. Huh, I didn't finish filling that out. Huh, weird. Yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. You're too loud! That's what all these guys are saying. Also, the voices of all dead people, hitting me at once, Alright, welcome back. You didn't miss anything that I was saying. What were you saying? Oh, that's so wild to think about. I guess there just wasn't that much fan content and stuff in back in the chapter 1 days. Like, there was some stuff, but I guess not as much as there was, you know, post chapter 2 and stuff like that. Oh yeah, chapter 1 just kind of captured me. I was so fascinated with it. I was like, what does this mean? What could happen? Back of this. Yeah, I'm glad that Toby released oops, that's not right. What's that? Glass base, there it is. Prophecy be darned. It's definitely gone in some interesting directions. I'm so curious to see where we go. Well, I guess I gotta post my bingo card for chapter 5, since that was an ask. Which I'm sure I'll change my bingo card before we actually get to chapter 5. We still got quite a bit of time. Yeah, I really like chapter 1's vibe. Just gets in your brain and stays there. I mean, you can handle the secret bosses however you want, but I typically do the pacifist route with them. Ah, the music's so good. Field of hopes and dreams, man. Yeah, Jebel feels like he's kind of gotten tossed to the side right now. He almost feels like, yep, we're introducing the concept of, you know, secret bosses with Jebel and then not much else. I know, Susie's backstory. Honey, why were they so mean to you? Why? And chapter 3 had its own kind of fun things. Like, I really did like some of the Zelda feel. It was just nice and different to do cool things. Yeah, Spampton gets lots of attention. Everybody loves that guy. End of Shadow Crystal's Trust. I don't know, maybe we'll do another boss rush again or something. Didn't like Sword Root? So I thought Sword Root was interesting. Kind of freaked me out a little bit. But now in terms of what the Shadow Crystals do, I think I'm on board with the ultimate weapons idea. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Jebel does feel like an introduction to the idea. But yeah, I'm now on board with it's the Shadow Crystals are supposed to make an ultimate weapon kind of thing for one character. Yeah, definitely. Like my first thought would be like, okay, that's a scripted loss. I'm not going to be able to beat the knight. All right. Oh, we get the Knight's Crystal later. I imagine if we got it later, it would be kind of even harder to do. I don't know. That'd be kind of freaky. But mainly, I think the thing with the ultimate weapons is that we will have one of 4 choices. Because Sham says, "Oh, well, I'll make something that you will enjoy." That could be a lot of different things. And I'm in with the idea that basically you will get a character's ultimate weapon if you combine the pure crystal with their, secret boss weapon. With Noelle kind of being the exception with the Thorn Ring. Yeah, I do think Chris will lose their hand, but I think that's going to be like chapter 6 or 7 deal. Or we get a crystal later. That was a really hard fight, for sure. And like the only way you have a chance of even beating it is beating this other boss that's also super difficult. Alright, I'm going to do my stretch break here. I think Susie getting the soul and Chris losing a hand, I think that's late chapter 6, chapter 7 stuff. I think it's going to be towards the very end. We're not going to get that much time with them in that situation. It's a bit of an outlier thing. So I don't think it's going to be in chapter 5. I think, yeah, late chapter 6 or chapter 7, where stuff has really gone off the rails. And we're getting into new and unexplored territory. No, it doesn't need to be an 8th chapter. Final crystal, some bonus area challenge. weird root finisher. Still wondering if we'll have a Sham boss battle or not. Now I'm not sure. I thought we would, and that would be really cool. But with the whole, when does Gaster mean by halfway through the game? We are halfway through the game because we're through the 4th chapter, which is more than halfway through 7 chapters. He doesn't say exactly halfway. He says halfway. No, that's not a quarter of the way. How much how much do you think how long do you think 4 out of 7 is? Four out of 7 is more than halfway. Good luck with the fight against the knight. The knight is hard. I had to do it many, many times. Do you have the Shadow Mantle? Put that on Susie. Put the Shadow Mantle on Susie. You basically want to make sure that Susie stays up no matter what. Chris is your second priority. Keep Chris up as much as possible. Ralph say if he goes down, like, it's manageable. But Susie is most important because her Rude Buster is what does the most damage. And you progress the fight by getting through her dialogue and also dealing enough damage. So it's most important that Susie stays up. Prioritize Chris and Susie. Especially since you can get Chris back up with normal items. Whereas if Ralph gets swooned, you have to use a revive mint on them. 3 acts or 2 halves? Yeah, that I could see that. I kind of feel like, yeah, 4 and 5 are supposed to be like, okay, things are getting really serious. 5 is going to give us a really major cliffhanger. And then 6 and 7 are where things really, go off the rails and get into crazy territory where we break all the rules. So yeah, I can see it's like a 3 acts thing where like chapters, 1, 2, and 3 are kind of all in the same. Okay, we're having fun, in this fantasy world. At the end of chapter 3, now it's getting serious. Chapters 4 and 5 are getting into like the intrigue and stuff like that. Yeah, that seems like a good loadout for armor. Seems pretty solid to me. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff. return. I return. Yeah, the narrator's like, oh, by the way, that's the night. It's the night. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder if replays will happen before we get to the Chapter 5, whenever that is. I kind of hope we get Chapter 5 as like a Halloween release. I don't want it at Christmas. Christmas will be a real bad time for me to get it next year. But like, Halloween or November, I'd be okay with that. And yeah, I haven't really replayed it on my console version. But I would need to buy it again for the console. Well, no sword file. It's shocking how many different routes we can do, considering it's supposed to be a, only one ending game. No, you do Rude Buster. Have her do Rude Buster. That does the most damage. It does way more damage than just her fighting. Like, if you can't do much else, but you can fight, might as well do it. But, like, have her use... It's better to defend and have her use Rude Buster. She does the most damage that way. No, you need to get the knight's health down 25%. You know it will finish when the knight does its big, like, area-wide, like, Azrael-style attack. Basically, once you hit that move, you've won. Well, one quote-unquote, but... Oh, yeah, doing sword felt so weird. Like, while I was doing it, I'm like, this isn't the S rank room. I'm like, why is this Snowgrave? I haven't done a Snowgrave route. Why am I Snowgraving here? What's going on? It felt so weird. Oh, Ice Key was so creepy. Oh no! Yeah, losing at that attack is so sad. Are my sins on another file catching up with me? I know what you did last save file. You'll be punished. That was weird me out because I'm like, I have never done a Snowgrave route. I've never done the weird route. So I'm like, why is this happening? I have never weird routed. You can't be reading my other files. They're not there. They don't exist. But it makes sense that this is basically like, hey, what if you wanted to try something else? Here's some instructions on how to do so. Did we get everything on here? I think so. That page will be done for shading. I am definitely, considering what we got with Weird Root in Chapter 4, I am definitely afraid of what's going to happen with the Weird Root in Chapter 5. I can't imagine it will be good. Yep, that's going to happen, or else I'm going to get swooned. And Alvin going to get nommed. Huh. I don't know. I keep thinking back to, like, Toby being like, no, you don't have to play multiple times to get all the content. Or basically you don't have to play multiple times in order to get the true ending. Or multiple save files. Honestly, a thing I worry about is, like, people are going to be mad if there is one ending. And, like, they were expecting multiple endings. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what changes where and why. Wait, did I not? Oh no, that's because I thought that was like part of his beak. It's not. Yeah, I don't think I can bear to experience that blind again. Even just like the stuff in chapter 4 was like, oh, this is deeply uncomfortable. And even then, it feels like there was a bit of a limit on that, considering Toby changed the imagery in that one scene. Like, it's bad, but it's not like that. That is true. That is true, unfortunately. People will not be able to stop that. What if it's spoopy? What if it soft locks you? Congrats, player. You soft lock yourself on purpose. What if the end goal is to get us to be like Noelle and like something happens and we scream and turn off the console and sit there shaking? Now you know what it felt like. You were making fun of Noelle and you did it. I do imagine it'll be spoopy. Speaking of spoopy, watch out, villagers. You put yourself in the bird feeder. Oh yeah, oh that's true. I do think that controllable Noelle is something that's going to happen in the Weird Route. I that's one of my predictions. I do think we're headed that direction. And it's going to be bad. Yeah, I think we're getting controllable Noelle in the Weird Route and very likely controllable Susie in the normal route, although even then that's going to be a little bit different, but still something going on with that. But I think we're going to get the start of like being able to control Noelle in chapter 5. Maybe not all the way, but these moments where it just gets really creepy. It's like, what? Why did our control shift kind of thing? Some real spookies. Some super spoops. I just wonder how much we're even going to be able to deviate from the normal route and the weird one. It'll just be some same events, but like how they happen is completely creepy and different. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if Weird Route has an early ending, it'll be in chapter 6, not chapter 5. Maybe it's a thing of like, okay, once you've gone through chapter 5, you are out of opportunities to, leave the Weird Route. You can't off-ramp anymore. You are locked in. But especially if, it seems to hint that the story normally ends at chapter 6, and chapter 7 is going to be where Susie's like, screw that, I'm doing things my own way. If Susie is, kind of shut out of the story normally, in the Weird Route, then I can see the Weird Route ending at chapter 6. Yeah, I'm not sure why 5 bigger than 4, smaller than 2. Yeah, that did feel like pretty much a solid lock-in. But I don't know. Maybe there's still an off-ramp in Chapter 5. I don't know. That'd be a hell of a chore in order to off-ramp from that point, because I don't think Noelle would be friends with Chris ever again. I think it's kind of a life-ruining situation. So I won't say it's impossible that there's, there's off ramps or whatever in Chapter 5, but I guess it would probably be a lot less likely. You had your chance. You buttered your bread, now sleep in it. I do like how the ominous weird root jingle sounds a little like Majora's Mask. You done the bad thing. Sound ominous jingle better. Yeah, that does kind of fit, doesn't it? Ominous jingle, but things are getting better. This is your final off-ramp. If you don't leave now, you're doomed. Yeah, I never played Majora's Mask myself, but my brother would just like play that over and over again, and I would usually watch him play it. And he would always get like every max so he could have like Fierce Deity at the end. That's up to you. Depends on the turn. If you can spare it, sometimes it's like, yes, it's good to have them up because that's one more person that can, defend and heal. But it depends. Lynx Majora's Mask stream win. I don't know how to figure out how to get that set up. Where do you even play Majora's Mask nowadays? Why do you like Undertale? Especially funny because I do not like the idea of a time loop in Eldritchrune. I think that'd be a really bad idea. But like, yeah, time loop's fun in Majora's Mask. It's good in Undertale. Good in Stars in Time, obviously. NSO Online. Okay, I guess that would have to be it. Because yeah, I do not have a I don't have an N64 or GameCube. It'd be hard to stream on those anyway. I had a 3DS. I don't know what happened to it. I think it's dead. My 3DS died. Also, how would I even stream off a 3DS? I'd have to get new hardware for that. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, like, I mean, the time loop is good story-wise in Stars in Time. I mean, like, if there was a time loop in Eldritchrune, I would not like that. I don't think that would be good for the story. Because, yeah, I had my 3DS for a long time. Like, I actually played Ocarina of Time on my 3DS. And that was the primary way I played it. But I never got around to Majora's Mask, and I don't know where my 3DS is, and it's probably dead. I need to repair it in some way. I mean, it's probably on, like, Switch now, isn't it? I'm sure they've ported it there. At least I'd be surprised if they hadn't. But even then, I still have to find a way to stream from Switch. And I'm sure there is a way to do so. I just have to... Again, that would require some more hardware. Software, something like that. Never say never. Could be doable. It does suck how like hard it is sometimes to play really old games. Like as soon as the hardware becomes like not available, you'd have to be really dedicated to preserving that kind of stuff. I've still got like PS2 versions of like Dance Dance Revolution and stuff like that. I'm like, can I even play these nowadays? Because I don't know if do I have a. I had a PS2. I'm not sure if I still do, if it works anymore. Probably does. I've had a wide variety of game consoles over the years, even though not a lot when I was a kid, because my parents did not like game consoles. Didn't like us playing that. I went outside and played when I was a kid. Actually, yeah, I did. Quite a bit. But if I had been allowed, I would have been on the computer a lot more. I already was. What's going on with the weird root? I do find it interesting that Toby, like, probably put the sword root stuff in to kind of hint you towards the weird root. And yet, even without any hints towards it, people just kind of found it on their own once we got Chapter 7. And like a few days out, it's like, oh, by the way, there's a secret evil root. At the time I was like, wait, what? Huh? That sounds kind of fake. It was not fake. I mean, they're very obtuse. The whole, like, can we make her a bad guy? Like, from Lancer? And I guess, you know, if you do go the wrong way with Noelle, she's like, this doesn't seem like the right way, but... Oh, yeah, that's a pretty obtuse one, too. But even so, like, using Ice Shock, if you're not doing it over and over and over again, it's like, okay, this is an enemy damaging spell. Specifically, you have to, like, it's not even just using that, you have to, like, go back to, you know, those first areas that you haven't been with Noelle yet, and spam it, and then not, you know, spam that, and then also just defend with Chris all the time. Like, the steps feel really specific. Yeah, maybe so. No, Eye Shock is just regular spells. You can use Eye Shock outside of the weird route. It doesn't really have a penalty. Like, heck, you can use Eye Shock on Birdley to defeat him in the normal route, and things will play out pretty much the same. You just didn't pacify him. Yeah, I guess for weird route, it does need to be the killing blow. The Forbidden Path began with ice magic. And might end with it too. It's just ice magic. The whole path is ice magic. All of it's forbidden. Don't use it. Yeah, if you don't hit those markers for killing these enemies then, and, you know, getting the freeze ring, etc., etc. A little... And it won't do the same thing. I can't make a weird root jingle with my mouth. And on this sinister evil root you hear a little... Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, I'm sorry. I never believed that was going to happen. I was like, no, I don't think that'll be the case. Even if the idea of screen burn is, you know, oh, it works for TV kind of thing, but I'm like, I don't think this is going to play out the same way. And I ended up being kind of right that Toriel just didn't show up at all. Oh, I'm sure we're going to get something going. There's something going on with Toriel. There's something going on with Toriel that's going to be very plot important. One, I'm like, okay, why was it so important that she not be woken up while they were in the Dark World? Like, they're like, oh, it's going to be really bad if that happens. Like, why can she not see what's going on? Why is the variable that changes the black deer into the black monster called Toriel? I think that Toriel knows quite a bit about the prophecy, actually, being a pretty religious person, and if she knew that her kids were in the prophecy, she would be like, no they're not. I'm taking y'all out of here right the hell now. Something is going on with Toriel and the prophecy. And if she finds out, she's gonna be mad. Wait, here? He's in his mouth. He's just like, nyeh. He bite. Poor Alvin, getting nommed. They're more, the teethies are more for grasping. They're graspy teeths. I mean, maybe we can get a little bit of blood in there. I don't know if there's that much compared to later. Giving bird snacks. Feed the birds. But not like that. Get everything? I think I did. Hopefully I did. Alvin fucking dies. Yeah. So yeah, while we didn't get to see Toriel do a powerful thing in Chapter 3, I think there's still time. I think there's still time for her to kick some butt. Hello, thank you for coming. We are working on shading this part of Eldritchrune. Things are going very badly for Alvin. Sorry, Alvin. I'm still of the mind that, like, he got kidnapped in Chapter 4 and we off screen and we didn't see it. From France? Ooh, where are you in France? What part of France? I haven't been to France in a long time. Nice. I feel like, maybe I'm just remembering wrong. I feel like I went to Grenoble once. Maybe it was a long time, or maybe we just drove through it. I don't remember. Alvin is helping Des through her Catholic guilt. But they don't believe in sin or confession. Why are they getting all this Catholicism? You're gonna have Catholicism whether you like it or not. The wrong night. Alvin, for the last time, we don't have confession. Although the attempt is appreciated. Oh yeah, you can tell me later. Are you learning French? That's a difficult language to learn, I feel like, but it can be worthwhile. I have some relatives that know French. And the best way to learn is immersion. Nice. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Although you won't have to worry about speaking that much French unless you move to Quebec. In which case, you probably should speak more French because they like more French over there. But most of the rest of the country is like, yeah, French or English. English is fine. I don't know any French. Except for various words on packaging, because they have all the food packaging has both English and French on it. So I'm like, oh, I know the French word for garlic now. Can't really use that in a conversation much, but now I know it. And also, I'm pretty sure, like, Canadian French is a little bit different than, like, France French. Languages do change across different countries. Even the same language. Yeah, Quebec is a little insistent on keeping the French. What happened to my music? Is it still going? Oh, yes, it is. Just the quiet part. Yeah, accent-wise, it's very different. But it's also like, you know, Portugal Portuguese and, like, Brazilian Portuguese. Those are also going to be very different. It's just how it is with language. It changes quite a bit. Especially with time and distance. When am I supposed to stop for my stretch? I'm not sure, honestly. It could be a lot of accent stuff, it could be a lot of vocabulary, it could be both. And I would not be able to tell unless I was French. I'm more of a French speaker. Here's a question. Can Birdley do his screams in French? Probably not. My screams are in, like, Eldritch language. AKA French. No, I'm kidding. All I know is that to immigrate to Canada, you can do both English and French. Well, English or French. They'll accept either one. Which is a little bit wild, especially at least on the West Coast. More likely to have people speaking Mandarin or Cantonese than French. But again, Quebec's probably a different situation. Still, France is also very pretty. I wonder how it is this time of year. In fall. It's probably pretty. Most places you go to on the planet, it's like, oh, that's pretty. You're hard tasked to find an ugly place on planet Earth. To be completely honest. Oh wow, that's pretty useful. That's good to know. Half human. No. I'm sorry, I don't really put anything in with the Sans is green, or Gaster's green, or whatever. Like, I tried to watch it and I was like, this is just Woody theory again. This is a bunch of stuff that you put together that doesn't really add up to anything. There's nothing here. Like, what would it mean? What would it matter? He's green, okay. If the curtains are green, what does that symbolize? The whole point of the curtains are blue is that means something. What does being green mean? Unless you're Kermit the Frog. Ooh, Korean, also useful to know. Apparently Korean is one of those easier languages to learn, at least to my understanding. It means he smokes weed. Well, he and Des can get along then. like doing fills. Fills are normal stuff to do. Storyboard and 2D animation, 3D animation. Well, that covers a lot of different things, so certainly having some knowledge in all of those will help you. It'll help you find more work, which, don't be hard on yourself if you're looking for work right now, because it's a mess. What is my least favorite part of the art process you go through? Actually, I probably should stop now and stretch, and then we'll come back to this. Poor Alvin getting eaten. My least favorite part, I feel like something that I struggle with is something I would really have to like sit down and practice. I don't feel like my values are very good, and that in turn affects coloring. Oh, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Oh, gross. Oh, I hate those. Oh no, I did a graveyard shift from like 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Not good with me. I'm not a night person. I struggled with that job. But ugh, good luck. Maybe if you were a night person kind of thing, but ugh, that's rough. But yeah, I guess least favorite part of the art process, anything that's like, you know, values are really rendering lighting, I think I am not very good with, struggling with that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Ugh. I remember that, and it sucked. It sucked. It's a terrible place to be in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry this stupid economy is doing this thing that we did again in 2008 and didn't learn a freaking single lesson about it. It's not fair to you. Just whatever you do, don't take it seriously. Take it seriously. Don't take it personally. Don't take it as I'm a failure because, you know, this is not normal, or at least it should not be normal. This is not a failure on your part. This is a systemic failure, not a personal one. That is true. We'll talk about Eldritchrune more. As much as you like, but my sympathies go out for job hunting because it's not fun. It's not fair. I remember those days from back in the day, and it really was a miserable place to be in. Yeah, even that ain't a guarantee. I don't know if there's really much in the way of a safe job. The slop's got to go away at some point. Unfortunately, when the slop dies, it's probably going to take the economy with it. We're all going to have to deal with that, and that's going to suck some more. Destroy all data centers. Hey, make that video game. That probably would sell pretty well. Imagine a video game called Destroy All Data Centers. And, like, as you progress and destroy data centers, like, the graphics of the game get worse and worse. That'd be kind of fun, though. Like, I don't know, that'd be kind of neat. I might play that. Like, they start out with really nice textured stuff, and then as stuff goes down, it just kind of gets more and more pixelated and, like, chunky. Like, that'd be cool. You know, just one of those, yeah, it's going to start a Kickstarter. Just one of those games where, like, there's not really, you know, a deeper meaning to it. It's just the love of the game of, like, blowing stuff up. You just kind of get, you know, more and more crazy weapons or explosives or whatever. You know, maybe have to sneak past guards, destroy the data centers, and every time you do, the graphics get worse. That sounds like kind of a fun romp. And by the time you know you've won, because we're at, like, you know, Pong level graphics, and you're like, oh, thank God. Kill the frame boss and it causes the lag to spike. Yeah, I keep feeling like I should learn Mandarin. Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch, and stuff, and we'll get back to it. Okay, I return. Also, I had a terrible thought while I was away. A terrible thought. I'm like, oh no, what if, you know, when we have this dumb AI bubble pop and wreck the economy, people start calling it the slop pop. We're gonna be kids 200 years in the future. Like, alright, we're studying the, you know, the fall of the American Empire today. Today we're gonna discuss the slop pop. And the kids are like, ew. And then they're on their, like, I don't know, whatever future tech we have in 200 years. I don't want to learn about that. And we're always gonna have to deal with it. Because of the slop pop. Well, just get your money out of NVIDIA and Microsoft right now if you're able to do that. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm able to do that because all the stuff I have is like, okay, this is through, like, you know, work situations or whatever, so I don't have direct control over what gets invested in what. And the one time I was like, okay, you can, you know, do direct investing for yourself. I tried to look it up and immediately I'm like, I'm getting hives looking at this. I'm just going to put it into a bond and never look at it. I don't like this. And then it turns out I can't put it into, you know, market investments. It has to be in a bond. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad I chose that anyway. It can get funky and weird. Mm-hmm. that might drive me to insanity. This is the ending. It's Eldritch, right? It's not supposed to make sense. Proper story beats. Payoff. Computers can't do that. feeding me your slop. I swear, the most annoying thing is how it's just pushed into everything. Like, I go to open a script that I need to work on, you know, for my job. Which means I have to read the script closely. And think about it. So that I can interpret it through pictures and art. And this dumb PDF is like, this looks like a long document. Do you want me to summarize it and save time for you with AI? And I'm like, no, I want you to shut your hole and go die in a toaster bath or something. Ah! I don't want it freaking summarized. I have to actually read this. I already don't read enough. I don't need your help not reading, computer. I'm an Undertale fan. I can't read. I know that's not what that meme means, but it happens. Sometimes the meme just gets outside of your control. I'm sure it's going to happen to me someday if it hasn't happened already. Of course Undertale fans lose the meaning of UT fans can't read meme. They can't read. No! It all circles back on us. No. We'll never be free of it. Whew. Speaking of reading, I kind of wonder when the next newsletter will be. If we'll get it around Christmas or next year or what. And I'm already like, please give us more. Even though I kind of doubt we're going to get that much, get any more story hints or whatever from newsletters. I think that those are going to be pretty sparse. Here's a sprite of, you know, piece of cake. That's all you're going to get. Bye! Don't give the cake to Burbly here. Well, so I just realized I've been putting this on the wrong layer the whole time. I am not going back and doing it on another layer. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Just gonna have to deal with it. Ugh. Gonna have to live with the consequences of my quinces. Okay, I would still recommend please don't do that for ChatGPT because it makes stuff up. It's just going to lie to you. It is not a search engine. It is not cross-checking this with anything. It is not an encyclopedia. It's just making stuff up. I can't stress this enough. It just makes stuff up that it thinks is closest to what you want. It can and will lie to you because it is making stuff up. Please go check IMDb or Wikipedia. Ask your friends on social media, whatever. Anything is better than asking the lying machine for accurate information. I cannot stress this enough. It just makes stuff up. It is not a search engine. It's just lying to you to tell you what it thinks you want to hear. You can't even use this thing for spell check anymore because it's not checking a dictionary. It's just checking how people spell things most often. And sometimes the most frequent spelling is just incorrect. Because that's just like how people are. That's how culture works. Please do not use it for a search engine. I can't talk. Don't use it for a search engine. Do not use it for any kind of accurate info because it cannot give you accurate info. It just tells you what it thinks you want to hear. It is a yes-ander. It is lying to you. It is lying to you for profit. You're better off getting information from Birdly as he is eating you right now. Like he is. This poor guy. The Eldritch Horror will give you better information. Also, in some sense, ChatGPT is an Eldritch Horror because, again, it is making stuff up. It is not cross-referencing this with anything. It is not a dictionary. It is not a search engine. It's just babbling stuff. It's just pretty good at making the stuff it babbles sound convincing. Please do not use it for math. It is not a calculator. It is not doing proper math. It cannot and will not give you accurate answers. Yeah, I still want to know what the heck is the deal with Birdly's mom. Like, your son was missing in the weird route. Did you not care? Where are you off to about that, parents? Please. Why did Chris have to be the one to be like, okay, I'll bring him to the hospital. I'll do this at night, I guess. Like, what happened there? I no wonder this kid is so desperate for attention. Yeah, I mean, in fanfiction, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want forever in fanfiction, it's true. Ugh. I do find it kind of interesting / weird / mostly interesting that like people saw the blue bird that was, you know, the teacher in the anniversary stream and like, oh, that's Birdly's mom, and also she's a terrible mom and neglectful. And it's like, huh. Interesting series of conclusions. I guess that's how that usually happens. In terms of like how fan things go. Taking forever to do these specific pages because of Birdly's ding-dang feathers. But then again, Noelle's next and she also takes forever because of her fur, so there is no escape. There is no escape. Yeah, then again, I didn't really do anything with Birdly even in Paper Trail, so you can do whatever you want. I didn't do much with him, which I kind of regret. Only so much time and stuff. Birdley's mom in this AU is just an even bigger bird. Even more eyes. Birdley, were you off ranting about your video games again? Mom, they're real! Eat your humans, Birdley. I will, Mom. Universal Mother has to account for something. I feel like Universal Mother counts towards Noelle, and that's as universal as it gets. No, Birdley did not get much in Chapter 1. Still, there was opportunities there. Yes, he does. The problem is, since video games don't exist in this universe, nobody knows what he's talking about. So he'll just go off talking about video games, and they're like, I guess this is some deep eldritch knowledge, because none of us know what that is. How does he know what they are if video games don't exist? That's a mystery. A mystery that will never be solved. Why is he eating someone? Because that's what he does. They're eldritch beasts. They eat people. That's mean, Birdley. No, he's on a roll. He has to show he can eat the most people. He's the coolest at it. He's the best. He's like, I can eat 20 people in an hour. Also, he hungry. He hungry. Are you really going to let a growing bird not eat his poor, helpless, citizens? I don't know what pro reader or pro beast means either way. Like, that's another reference I don't get. I'm too old for the memes. I'm out of the loop. I'll never understand again what the kids are doing. No, he would not be a programmer. He just kind of knows this stuff because games don't exist. True enough. So he'd probably just be a pro beast, I guess. Exactly. He knows what games are and nobody else does. That's his secret knowledge of Minecraft. You've kind of already seen him, but not. I don't know if he's very pro at those. He's got kind of like weird bird hands. With like 2 fingers. What are the dimensions of this page? This is a 11 by 17. I draw very large. Nope, this is the town where the citizens sacrificed Chris, yes. Another scene we can work on later, not today, but some other time, is Chris finally coming back home to their parents. Yeah, it's like, oh, poor Alvin, he got eaten, but also Alvin was part of the cult, so, oops, image size? Yeah, this is 300 pixels per inch. That many pixels. A lot of, many pixels. Like, these guys asked for eldritch help from beyond the evil, and oops, here it is. Yeah, again, this is like 11 by 17 inches in Photoshop. I like drawing very large. It's always easy. It's always better to start large, go smaller than the opposite way. Well, he's trying to warn people, like, don't go outside. A bad thing could happen. Oops, here's the bad thing that happened. Watch out for the big things. There's one right over you, bro. It's the only green human. Wait, how does that work? It would be extremely funny if, like, humans in, you know, Undertale Deltarune universe had, like, multicolor skin, like Doug. Or Rugrats or whatever. So when Caddy's father is, like, comparing him to Doug, that's just because humans are like that. No, this is just regular human Alvin. Because in Eldritchrune, the hometown people are all humans. Smiling Friends. I've never seen Smiling Friends. Yeah, I just think, like, it makes more sense, with the situation we have, if Chris is the only human in town for the most part. We didn't really see Alvin at all in Undertale. I don't know what Mr. Frog is. I haven't seen Smiling Friends. This is a fun song. Where do you find Smiling Friends anyway? Is that an Adult Swim thing, or is that something else? Adult Swim? Okay, that's what I thought. By other means. Very legal, legitimate means. Yeah, I never got actual TV. Well, I have a TV, but I didn't, like, hook up TV to it, so this needs to be things that I can access from the internet. Okay. You know what? Most creators are that way anyway. We just want you to see our stuff. It's not like we're getting paid extra. Not like we get royalties for stuff. We ain't get no royalty. My dad gets royalties for books, though. At least he got that much. Do I get a free subscription? No, absolutely not. Yes, I guarantee you that they are books that you do not want to read and do not care about, because they are basically, like, super fancy academic published papers about, like, certain books in the Bible, usually, like, you know, Leviticus or, you know, Jeremiah or stuff like that. They're research papers, and they're basically designed for, like, students to look at. It's a lot of research involved. They would probably be very hard for you to find outside of, like, a college setting. I mean, he is a Christian, but he is still approaching this from a very academic viewpoint. Like, these are not supposed to be preachy. A lot of his books are like, hey, I'm going to compare and contrast these laws that are in the Bible with contemporary laws from another country that's in this part of the world. How do these things relate to each other, kind of thing. They're not really designed to get you, you know, they're not really designed to sell Christianity to you. They're research papers about, you know, like, historical and, you know, cultural context. Yeah, mix of theology and history. Those things often get very mixed. That's why I usually trust trust him to like talk to him about like religious things, about like Christianity things, because I trust that he's going to give me like an honest answer. No, it's not some PragerU shit. It's definitely not. Ain't that nonsense. The main thing I've learned from whenever I ask him like a religious question, usually the answer I get is, well, it's complicated. Like, well, you know, consider the context for it, kind of thing. It's never a clear-cut answer. That's just how it is. Which, again, that's why I trust his answers, because of they're honest and things are rarely clear-cut. But yeah, when I say he has royalties on books, I mean like college research papers. Nothing you're going to find on a bookshelf. Unless that bookshelf is like certain colleges. Exactly. It was written by many different people from many different times for very different audiences, and has like a very wide variety of like not only themes but like genres. Yeah, it's not going to line up perfectly. It ain't that conveniently easy. But either way, also no, I do not get free subscriptions to stuff I work on. I might get a crew t-shirt. I've gotten a couple of those. But that's usually about the best you get. I'm barely even being credited properly on the shows I'm on right now, which kind of sucks, but I'm being credited, but the credits are weird. I don't know if I can get into it right now. It's just kind of like, oh, why are you crediting it this way? It doesn't really make sense. Yeah. I'm getting paid at least. But no, the credits are a little weird on the show I was last on, and that might carry over to the show I'm on now. So I'm like, okay. Well, what I find especially interesting about talks about, you know, the devil or Lucifer or whatever in the Bible is that he's usually listed as the adversary. Or like, basically like the opposing lawyer. The accusing lawyer. Like the person who's designed to point out, these are the bad things you did. He's not really like, and then I'm the king of hell, and I rule over and tempt humanity, and blah, blah, blah. Like, a lot of that's fan fiction from, like, you know, Dante's Inferno, or the Divine Comedy, and Paradise Lost, which I both read, and they're interesting. But yeah, again, lots of context. It's very important. But a lot of stuff that people like think is just like normal part of popular culture is a lot younger than you'd think. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole lot that's going into it. It's not very clear cut. No, that is the problem. People don't do their research. People don't have time to do their research. That's another thing. Is like, there's so much involved that most people like just don't have time for that in their day to day. Oh, thank you for following. Yeah, that's another reason why I want that AI bubble to pop. It's like, please, I want to be able to, like, properly research things again. Please. Believe. Do I need to take my stretch break now? Maybe we can at least get this little guy getting eaten in. More bird snacks. Yeah, exactly. Especially like proper research with like, you know, proper sources, and oftentimes those sources are in a different language that you'd have to learn, kind of stuff. It really is time consuming. Most people just don't have the time for it. They just expect somebody to tell them, you know, they expect somebody to tell them what they need to know, and they also tend to like it when people tell them what they already believe is correct. Is Pizza Pants an eldritch creature in this? No. He is, in fact, gonna get eaten by Birdly. It's very funny. Birdley does not enjoy it because pizza pants does not taste good. The faces Eldritch Pizza Pants would make. To be fair, that would be very fun to draw. Yeah, I guess it is manure pants. It's not proper pizza pants because we don't have pizza. We only have horse crap. We'll get to that at some point, I think. That's in part, I think, 7, and this is 3 still. Out of 20. Oh, I can't think to myself about how long the ending is, or I'll get sad. Oh. Went a lot faster when I wrote it. Drawing it's a whole nother issue. Average day in Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah, I was just going out for church, and all of a sudden I was attacked by the Hell Beast. Hate it when that happens. I don't think I've ever been to Salem, now that I think about it. I did spend a good amount of time in Massachusetts, especially Boston. That's Call Her a Witch. Well, at least that was the case 19th century. Then again, maybe that's still the case today, I don't know. Probably not limited to Salem, Massachusetts, though. This is Ice Cap. You can tell by his fabulous hat that it's not going to save him from evil and death. Okay. I can show you the world. Yes, travel is fun. Ah, my pillow. Alright, time to stretch. Shining, shimmering, splendid. And that was formative when I was young. All them Disney movies. I always liked how to hype you up for those kind of Disney movies. They're like, and here's the behind-the-scenes thing. Here's the rough animation. Here's them storyboarding and filming the voices. Isn't that cool? And I was like, yeah, that is cool. Yep. It is October. It's finally getting cold here. It's like cold and wet today. Cold, wet day. As is proper. I don't know if it's like cold, as cold as it should be, but it's still a little cold and wet. Oh yeah, again, that's another one of those things where it's like, in order to properly study this, you probably need to go back through a whole ton of sources. Average layman, difficult to do. James Baxter horse drawing. That's like a whole nother. I mean, that's James friggin' Baxter. James friggin' Baxter! I don't think we're getting a Halloween newsletter, because we got a newsletter in September. They tend to only happen like once a season, so we're probably not getting one until winter. Until December or January, or the like, either a Christmas one or a New Year's one, whichever is most thematically appropriate. We'll just have to see. Indeed. Please give us more info. I really want more info on 6 and 7. We have like nothing. I think the most we have on 6 is like, yes, it exists. Yes, it will have enemies. Because they were programming enemies for it. So I'm like, okay. That's more info than we had previously. Huh, 4 or 5 retrospective? That'd be interesting. Oh, do you mean a 3-4 retrospective? Because 5 isn't out yet. Yeah. And that's why I do think that typically Like, the prophecy is supposed to end at chapter 6. And, Susie is like, screw that, we're doing a chapter 7. Dumbasses. We're doing it the Susie way. Oh, a 2 retrospective. That'd be neat, too, yeah. Tell me how you made the things. Tell me. Tell me. Well, I'm gonna struggle with that, because I can't mod a game. That's where I'll have to throw in a comic or something. It's up to you now, fans. You have to do the ending. I don't know. I don't think that Toby is lying about it being 7 chapters. I don't think he's lying about, you know, there's only going to be one ending. Yeah, but I think that's going to be the chapter 7 situation. Well, we have 7 chapters laid out. If there's going to be 8 chapters, then we're not finishing this before the end of this decade, which is, kind of sucks. I don't know, I feel like, I kind of feel like if we do a chapter 8, it's going to be, like, not even, like, playable. It's like an epilogue kind of thing. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and all that. Alrighty, I return. Yeah, that's what I mean, is that if there is like a chapter 8, I don't think it's going to be like something playable. I think it's going to be like a short little epilogue. We are going to have 7 chapters, as in 7 full chapters that we play through. A chapter in between, oh no! Just like the Eggman! Cuckoo got you! Is that you, Eggman? Maybe we will. We'll see. PMD side stories. Who do I think the Eggman is? I'm not sure. I know, Eldritchrune definitely does not need a Homestuck intermission. Please no. Don't do it. And then meanwhile, with the Midnight Crew. Yeah, I don't really know what's the deal with the Eggman. Chapter 5, Chapter 1, Chapter 4. No! Space Slick is cool. I just don't think he belongs in Eldritchrune. It goes through stabbing people. Spades, no! Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I like the Midnight Crew too. And like I kind of like the Wanderers more than the Trolls and stuff like that. Like I always liked you know, Wandering Questioner, AR, you know, the Mayor, all those guys. Those were cool. Not quite as much, yeah. And we spent a lot of time with the trolls. And remember when the Undertale Kickstarter was something like have your fan troll be an Undertale or something? Different Eggman. I feel so bad that every time I think of like Sonic Eggman now, the first thing that comes to mind is the meme, "What are you two fucking talking about?" Someone took it unironically. Uh-oh. Wait, is he named after the Beatles? Also, I also knew more as Robotnik than Eggman. I think about the walrus, Cuckoo-Cachoo. Who the heck is this? It's also mostly because my parents put on Beatles all the time when I was growing up. We had a lot of the Beatles. So that was kind of just subconsciously beamed into my brain. Huh. Okay. That actually makes sense. Interesting. I did not know that about Eggman. He's the walrus. He's like my biology teacher from high school. Imagine you're a blue hedgehog and your nemesis is a guy who makes robots and he looks like a big walrus. But he's a guy. I feel like my dad wanted to put on Pink Floyd, but my mom didn't, so they compromised and we got the Beatles and the Eagles and Mama and the Papas and Fleetwood Mac. A lot of classic 60s, 70s rock, soft rock, folk rock kind of thing. The music your parents subjected you to because you had no say, because you were a kid. Grateful Dad. I feel like that should also exist. Still, Grateful Dead Motown, pretty good. Oh yeah, Elvis. Alright, got that done. Let's get your little shinies on. Burbly. Oh yeah, speaking of beach, we had Beach Boys. Bit of Sinatra, that's also good. Actually, when I was also growing up, we had a lot of, we had some movie soundtracks, and we also had, James Taylor, we had a bunch of James Taylor. We had some musicals. We listened to Les Mis a lot. We had, like, all the Les Mis songs memorized. Yeah, a lot of best of stuff. I think we had a Vivaldi CD in there at some point. Also, a bunch of the local Christian a cappella band have their CDs on a bunch. Oh, see, that's fun. At least that's fun music stuff. Show tunes, big band. Yeah, we got a bunch of musicals. We got some Christian stuff. We got folk rock and stuff like that. Movie soundtracks. We had the Forrest Gump soundtrack on a bunch. I remember like all the songs from that. Westerns. Yeah, quite a few musicals. Along with Les Mis, we also had a bunch of Sound of Music. We knew all the songs from that. And of course, you know, parents would indulge us in like, okay, we're going to listen to the Lion King soundtrack 20 times in a row. While we jump around like, be prepared. Matlock. I don't think we ever watched Matlock. What did we watch growing up? A lot of movies. My parents are into a lot of different movies. We put on a lot of movies. We did watch Sequest DSV together when I was younger. If I had infinite time, I would do a Sequest DSV video essay. So I haven't seen anybody talk about Sequest. I'm like, does nobody remember Sequest? We had the freaking toys from Sequest. Get those lines there, I think. Also, time is flying. This will probably be my last session before we're done. Time flies when you're eating all of Hometown's villagers and you're Birdly. When Birdly, slow down. It's not a big town. You're going to fill up on bread before the actual food gets here. Yeah, at the very least, with like Sequest, that kind of became like a family show we could all watch together. And that helped, like having a family aspect of, okay, there's a new Sequest, we'll sit down and watch it, and all the kids, and that's both the kids can enjoy kind of things. Yeah, I kind of wonder if he is on the grind, true. I kind of wonder if, like, how often does that happen nowadays? Where they'll be like, that's not okay for kids. Like, the way people talk about, like, Star Trek nowadays. There's, like, things in that not okay for kids. It's like, they'll be fine. Let them watch Star Trek and Sequest and other, you know, kind of scary but still family-friendly, you know, sci-fi shows. Yeah, Birdley's on the level grind. He's like, I'm gonna go up 2 levels if I eat this many people. And we're like, Birdley, we don't know what you're talking about. Stop. You're nonsense. Oh yeah, Sliders. That was a show that I never saw but was aware existed. A lot of kids love horror. Exactly. Yes, I work on a Cintiq. This is my work Cintiq. Sliders. I feel like I would have liked Quantum Leap at the time if I had seen it. Cintiq, Cintiq. Please do not look up how much they cost. They're very expensive. If you are new to art and stuff like that, you probably want something a little smaller and cheaper to start out. Unless you are super duper serious and have the money to spend. That's probably going to be outside of your price range. Oh yeah, Return to Oz has like a bunch of scaries in it. Spookies. Let kids be scared by things. Let kids be scared that Birdley's gonna jump them as they leave the church and grab them and gobble them up. It's good for you. Yeah, the Cintiq is is professional equipment, basically. This is what I would use at work. And since I do use it at work, I also use it here. I think my first tablet was a Wacom Intuos, and my grandparents gave it to me as a birthday gift. Because before that I was drawing with the mouse, and I wrecked my wrist as early as high school. Don't do that either. Aw, still $80, not bad. Not bad for a learning tablet. But yeah, I've definitely just gotten used to using the Cintiq because I like being able to draw directly on a very large screen. I need things that are also ergonomically helpful for me. I need stuff at the right angle and stuff like that, because otherwise it's a bad time for my wrist. It already is, so I gotta be careful. That's why I get up and stretch all the time. Burley's enjoying his bird snacks. Oh, I forgot the shade in there. I forgot. I forgot about this part. Wait a minute, that's not going to be lit up. Okay. I think... Are we done with this page in terms of character shading? I think so. Well, Birdley does not care that much, sadly. Alright, let's move on to our favorite frozen deer. In the time that we have, which is not that much, but we can do a little bit more. Yeah, say Alan's not necessarily a free from sin here. He participated in the child sacrifice, so. Kind of deserved it a bit. Which, kind of funny, like, being like, you know what, he might be in on the night conspiracy in canon, so. Huh, that worked out better than I expected. Maybe not to the same degree everybody is, but he's in on something with that. Here comes Undyne to the rescue! Maybe! No, I don't think he's as in the know as Carol and Chris are. I think he's kind of like in Asgore state, kind of partially in the loop, but not fully. Yeah, like I think the whole thing with Garrison's dust is like, wait, a cricket escaped. I see it crawling across my floor. Cricket, what are you doing outside your box? It probably escaped a while ago and I didn't notice. That's annoying. I just glanced over and I see this little bug crawling across my floor. Dumb cricket. It escaped. I'll take care of that later. Cricket freedom motif. Oh, I'm sorry it's being a nightmare. Ugh. That's frustrating. I've been using Photoshop like my entire life, so it's really hard for me to change, even though I should. But yeah, basically, I don't think that having Garrison's dust out like that was normal. Susie did not act like it was normal. She acted like she had basically found a corpse and like in the desk drawer. But Susie is a cricket. No, she'll get eaten by Alfies. No! She's gonna get dunked into calcium dust. Freedom! Why is Susie just a cricket? A noisy cricket. Yeah, that is interesting. Like, Chris figured it out first. Then again, Chris was probably, like, at a funeral for Garrison. But she was kind of like, huh, why are you shocked that this thing is dusty? Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, she did not pick up on it immediately that, oh, by the way, that's a corpse you're holding. That took her a bit. The game's like, by the way, monsters still turn into dust in this game. Did you forget? Just so you know, that happens. Ta-da! Again, Alvin, what were you doing with that? What was your intention there? I worked that out pretty quickly. As soon as she pulls out this little hammer, she's like, oh, it's dusty. I'm like, oh no, that's Garrison. Oh no. Susie, honey, watch out. Yeah, though that does raise other questions, because the whole reason why monsters turned into dust in Undertale was because they were made of magic. And it's like, okay, then what's going on here? What's the deal? What's the dealy-dooley-do? Susie, honey, gravy. I really doubt it's cremation. One, because they call it dust, not ashes, which would be cremation. And also, Susie implies, like, when monsters die, their dust is buried, which pretty much suggests this will happen no matter what. They don't get a choice in the matter. And same with the book in the library, which is like, by the way, monster funerals, you bury the dust. Everybody knows that. Yeah, it's definitely connected to what Alvin was saying in the graveyard, but it's kind of like somebody convinced him either to dig up Garrison's body, or else Garrison's body was never properly buried. Well, the thing in Undertale was that they said, okay, once a person dies, we spread their dust on an object they love. They don't necessarily add the part where it's buried, but they definitely include the part where the dust is spread on a beloved object. So that part is from Undertale. It's at least implied that the dusted thing is supposed to be buried in the earth in Deltarune. That's the cultural norm. She's on her way. But effectively, they really went out of their way to be like, yep, the dusting thing is the same. And Susie didn't quite pick up on that right away. Which is interesting. Alright, she's heading for the mayor's house. Watch out! Might do some of this next time. Actually, maybe I should ask you guys, since what's probably going to happen is more Eldritchrune ending work next stream. What do you want to see? Do you want to see more shading characters for this part, like we're doing right now? Do you want to see me doing fills, which is like, you know, the base stuff for the next part, which will be featuring Noel and the holidays? Or would you like me to be doing character clean lines for, I believe it's part 8, which will be when Chris comes home to see Toriel and Asgore, and Susie is there with them. What sounds most interesting to you? Maybe I should put up a poll or something again. Which one? I just listed 3. Please be specific. Oh, those are all pretty much in the same level as need to do. Yes, I can put up a poll. Oh, with Chris returning home. Basically, it could be more character shading on part 3, character fills on part 4, character lines on part 7. Okay, well, maybe next time we'll do Chris coming home then. Yeah. That'll be for next week. Alrighty. Then I will plan for that. Because, yeah, these are all just various parts within, you know, the 20 I have to do. I'm just kind of poking on, like, oh, let's work on this today. Oh, let's work on this today, kind of thing. Yeah, like jumping between these various things, not super difficult, so. Alright, we'll do Chris next time. That'll be fun. Get to do some fun, sad Chris expressions. Alright, I think I will just focus on this panel for, not Noel, Undyne, and then we'll have to call it for today, because I'm about done. It's almost finishing time. I gotta eat my lunch and do my other various Sunday things. But hey, this means we got through another like 3.5 pages for this, though. Pretty good. About 2/3 of the way done with character shading for this part. Like there are some things that I feel like are kind of easier to do on stream than others. The things that I find easiest to do are basically cleaning up backgrounds, cleaning up characters, doing fills and shading for characters. So those are usually the ones I focus on when I do a stream. Could potentially also do shading backgrounds, but I don't know if that's super exciting work or not. Trying to do stuff that I think would be fun to watch, at least. Lots more to write, too. Maybe eventually I get to show some stuff from the Tenno boss battle on stream, but I gotta draw that out first. I'm thinking about the character rough stage for that, and it's like 18 pages to do for that, so that's gonna take a little bit. Undyne's mostly like, I gotta do something. A little bit out of her depth here. Even though she was also part of the cult. Ooh, yes, do so. Make more fan art. Yay! I think we're about done, because, yeah, I gotta stop soon and do my usual stuff. We aren't just sacrificing kids for no reason? The problem is they were asking for a demon to show up specifically. They were not really expecting to get giant people-eating horrors. I didn't sign up for this cult. She really didn't sign up to deal with people-eating monsters. She thought, okay, this is going to summon a demon to do what we want. People did not really know about the giant people-eating monsters. That came as a bit of a surprise. Asriel's like, you could have asked me! But you didn't. Yeah. Alrighty. I think, yep. That's a pretty decent place to stop. Actually, I'm gonna do one more thing because I don't like how that looks. Let's fill this in really quick. Yeah. Okay, that's a little better. Bothering me slightly less. Okay. Yay! Alright. It is my stopping time for now. But yeah, I got through another about 3.5 pages of shading and stuff. We're close to finishing this. But I think next time we work on this, it'll be scene with Chris and stuff like that. And that'll be fun. Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and chatting with me. It actually helped me wake up a bit, which is good, because when I was starting, I was like, oh man, I'm really tired. Oh yeah, it's late in France, so go get sleep. Thank you for coming to the stream, by the way. Appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing well and everything. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to stream. More Mother 3 on Friday. And then aside from that, more of this next week. And it'll be fun. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And hope your week goes as well as it can. And yeah. Anyone in the cult know about the monsters? No, people did not know. For the most part, they did not know about that. Separate books from the demons. But yeah. Ugh, I gotta drink some water here. I've been yapping a lot. Alright, thanks so much for coming. Hope the rest of your day goes well. And yeah, I will see you guys all next time. Alrighty, I'll see you later.